Today, I'm not going to stain this fence. I'm going to actually paint it. So we're going to go ahead and apply paint to the front side. I've already done all of the oil-based stain on the inside. So what are my problems? First problem is this is an oil-based stain on the inside, but when you go to actually paint, you're generally going to use a water-based. And even if you're using a stain and you're trying to color match it to your home, that is going to generally be a water-based stain where they can mix that and make that work. What happens generally is if you're staining with a really good stain on the inside that has a stain sealer in it, it's going to penetrate all of your little knot holes and it's going to end up all over your fence. Well, you're thinking, oh, that's okay, I'm going to paint. You're never going to see it. The problem that you have is if you're using a latex, it's generally not going to cover those stain spots. So you're going to need something to actually cover those stains so that the paint, the latex paint, will stick and not just flake up or bubble up or peel up. So we're going to have to go through this fence and actually put a primer, spray a primer over the whole fence. Now, I could prime just the little spots, and I actually will probably start out trying to hit those a little bit on this side, see how it works. But I will ultimately prime it solid all the way down. Now, the reason for that is not just to cover those knot holes, but it puts a layer of primer over the entire cedar fence, which cedar will suck paint up like crazy. So it will save you a lot of money on the actual paint. We're using Benjamin Moore paint today. It's going to take us 10 gallons. That's going to run roughly about $650 to $700 just for the paint, not counting the primer. So by priming, we save a little bit of that paint money. Number two problem is going to be the actual tops. Normally, if I'm staining both sides of a fence, I'm just spraying that top and I am done. It's easy. Well, not so easy with this because you have to watch for overspray. If I'm painting and doing that and I get overspray, I'm going to cover the inside of my fence and then I'm going to have a problem. I'm going to be coming back power washing and trying to restain, which could be expensive and time consuming. So don't want to do that. So we're going to hand roll the tops. My number three problem is going to be the overspray. Now you're going to get overspray when you are spraying a semi-transparent stain on a fence, but it's not the same thing as a solid color. Solid color will coat your trees, your grass, everything. You have to be very careful and make sure that you're not doing that. Make sure that the cars are way out of the way. The same thing you do with the oil, by the way, but even more so with the paint, because like I said, it is solid. It is going to coat everything. You will spend days trying to power wash and clean everything up if you don't prepare correctly. So those are just a few of the major issues that you have when you're painting a fence versus you're trying to stain a fence. Now, a big advantage on painting versus staining is you could literally roll the actual paint on a lot easier than when you're staining. Because staining, if you're trying to roll it on, you're trying to spray it with a little sprayer, it doesn't work. You need an airless sprayer to do it correctly. But a fence, if it's painted, you could save yourself that equipment. All right, so without any further ado, guys, let's go ahead and let's start priming. We're going to use the Zinsser primer, and we're going to come back and we're going to go ahead and paint it with a latex enamel type paint. Now, this is an oil-based primer, but it works for both latex and oil, so it'll be great. It'll seal all those up so that it'll look nice. All right, so my main focus is going to be the oil spots. But I'm going to put a light coat on everything else, but that is going to be the biggest part that I'm worried about, because that's the part that the latex paint is not going to stick on. So let's get started. So we don't need much at all. We don't need much at all, just enough to cover it. All right, guys, so to roll the actual top, we're going to just use a traditional roller and pan. I don't want to fill it up too much because I don't want to take a chance of spilling it. We're going to use a ladder and kind of lean and get up there just to roll. I always keep a spare brush for touch-ups, plus it helps when I clean off the bucket. Now this bucket, we are going to use the airless sprayer in a little while. We're going to take the top off, but for right now, we're just going to open up the side to pour a little paint in, since we're going to do that first. This has been set, and you're going to need to actually, stir the paint, make sure that it's good to go. But this paint, I just went and got it. I just got it off of the actual mixer, so it has been actually stirred at the plant. And you try not to do that and get it all over you. That's how come you wear your older shirts, clothes. You ever wonder why guys wear white painters clothes? It's because they get paint on it all the time and they can bleach it back out. All right, pour a little bit in. And this paint is very, very thick, as you can see. So one of the things I'm going to point out is, being very thick, you are going to want to get a bigger nozzle for your airless sprayer. Make sure the tip is larger, so that it can handle the thick primer and the thick paint. Oil-based paint is going to have a small orifice because it is oil-based, meaning sprays very easily. This is going to spray much harder. All right, so there we go. So now, that off my hands, now we are going to start on the low side and start rolling. So let's do that. Now be very careful on the edge that has your stain, so that you don't get a lot of overrun onto the stain itself. And then when you get to cracks and crevices, make sure that you're getting the paint down in those areas to protect it. Now we're going to continue doing the entire top all the way around and all the way down the long side. More little details. Yeah, pay close attention to these edges. You're not going to be able to really spray that very well unless you tape it, and I will tell you the tape does not usually stick. Be sure that you pay special attention to the edges like this, because we are doing this paint, and just on the other side, and this edge is actually going to end up being stained. Now I'll probably have to use a brush right here to get that. Okay guys, quick update. We have done the priming. We've done the first coat of paint. We have done the tops all the way around. So now it's time to do our final coat of paint. One thing I want to point out is, if you notice when I was doing the first coat of paint, I was stopping and starting a lot because I was actually focusing on all the bleed through spots, making sure that I put a lot of paint the first time on those. When you actually do your paint job, you want to try to have clean motions from the bottom to the top. And a lot of people will keep that trigger pulled, and I usually like to do that, but we have a little bit of a wind today, and that's going to create more flow, more paint being spread to things that I don't want it to go to. Speaking of that, make sure that everything is blanketed off correctly. Make sure that you have a lot of tape in areas that you don't want to get paint on. Things that you don't want to have to paint later or clean off like this, make sure that it's taped. Like I said in the very beginning, put tarps down on the concrete. You don't want to have to come back a whole nother day and try to power wash everything. Now, this has been 2-3 days since this is actually dried. Most of the time with the latex, guys, you can go ahead and paint the last coat the same day. We just chose to wait because it was extremely hot that day. Come back when it's cooler, let it dry, and get a good look at what we've got to actually, fix. All right, so all that being said, let's go ahead and let's start painting. All right, guys, I apologize for a lot of noise. We are on a very busy street, so it's hard to film here. We are using a really good heavy-duty latex paint. Now, if you're using like the Magnum airless sprayer or a cheaper sprayer, you may need to water this down a little. Don't go more than 10%. Most of them are going to tell you not to water them down at all, but to get it through your sprayer, you may have to do that. You're also going to need the correct tip that's going to have a little bit larger orifice to be able to handle the latex. I'll tag that in the description or in the video so that you can find that. So what I'm going to do, I always keep an extra bucket for getting everything going. We are going to go ahead and take the tip of the suction hose. We're going to put it down in the paint. Now, I should have water in this system from cleaning it. So we're going to have to get that out in the bucket first. And usually I pull this one over. This is a little primer. Get that over here. And we're going to put it to start. And we just simply turn it on. Now I will try and prime through this first. You see the water? All right, now it's kind of slowed down. That doesn't mean we have paint to here yet. We are still going to have water in here, so we're going to have to clean that out. You can see all the water coming out. We're going to still keep going until it turns to paint. There we go. Now we got paint. So we're just simply going to put the overflow back. Actually, I'm going to try that one more time, make sure it's all the way clean. There we go, looking good. And we put it back in here. And I will take and put my lid on to keep things from getting in it. And let's go ahead and put our nozzle back, our actual spray tip. Now the tip, if it's at the arrow, that means it's ready to spray. Turn it this way, it's cleaning, so we can clean it. And now we can spray. There we go. And now all we do is set this to where we're actually going to want it, just like that, and we're ready to start spraying. So there you go, guys. Turned out fantastic. Definitely takes 2 coats. Primer was, the real game changer. Be sure that you're priming. And the best tool I used on this whole project was the actual shield. Being able to shield all of the bushes and all with that saved a ton of time. But if you have a lot of bushes like this, be sure you throw a blanket over it. It's going to make it a lot easier. And make sure that you're picking a quality paint, so that you're not out here every couple of years repainting, that you can go 4 or 5 years in between a paint job. So hopefully, guys, you got a little something out of today's video. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell notification button. Matter of fact, hit it twice. You'll know about all my upcoming videos. And as always, guys, I appreciate you watching.